if you've had a lot of different jobs, you feel like it's hard for you to keep a job. Every time you're on jobs, you get attacked by co-workers, supervisors, people always bothering you. You stay out the way, but yet people always find a way to bother you and attack you on jobs. This video is for you. Story time. I remember back in 2023, I was working at this job, this company. I'm not going to say the name, but if you go back and watch some of my videos around that time, you'll know what I'm talking about. It won't be hard to figure out. So I was working at this company, right? And I was around a lot of men. So I was around a lot of men, truck drivers, stuff like that. And I remember when I first started, it was this guy that they were warning me about. They was like, oh, you gotta be careful with him because he mean, he negative, he just like that. You gotta excuse him. So I'm like, okay. So when I first met the guy, I'm naturally just a woman, a person who has manners. Like, it's never a time where I'm gonna walk in a room where people are and not say good morning, good evening. You know, just speak to people. Like, that's just human manners, right? So I remember when I first met the guy, he was, like I said, he was always rude and nasty and stuff like that. And once they told me and I realized it, I just kind of stayed out his way. But at the end of the day, I have manners, right? So I remember I used to say good morning to him. And he'll say stuff like, well, who said it's a good morning? And who said it's a good morning? And why it's a good morning and stuff like that. And I was like, well, you woke up, right? That means it's a good morning. You breathing, you able to work, that means it's a good morning. So he was just always negative, stuff like that. So once I got past that with him, I just really stayed out his way. So I remember another time at work, I used to have to be to work super early, like 4:30 in the morning. So I remember sitting at my desk. I had my own little desk, own little station or whatever. So I remember, like I said, he was a truck driver, so he had paperwork. So I remember one morning he came in, didn't say nothing, very rude, very nasty, and he slung his paperwork on my desk. So I say, I don't know who you think you playing with today, but baby, I'm not the one. So I literally took it and I slung it back at him, right? So this was another time. This last incident what happened, I honestly can't even remember what he said. But I remember I was fixing my coffee and he came in and he said something crazy to me. I really can't remember, but it had to be something crazy. And by that point, I was fed up with him. So he came in, he said something crazy to me. And I told him, I say, I rebuke you, Satan. He say, what? I say, I rebuke you, Satan. And after I said that, he didn't say nothing. He got quiet. And then he just left. So after that, the guys heard me and they was laughing. They was like, oh, baby, April, you don't play. Like, you don't play. I'm like, yeah, I don't play because at the end of the day, I'm a woman. I'm human just like anybody else. Ain't nobody gonna handle me any kind of way. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect me. Like, I don't even play like that because I respect everybody. And at the end of the day, you got to give it to get it. So I had to make him understand that. And, you know, if you a spiritual person, you realize that when I said I rebuke you, Satan, I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to that spirit in him. I was talking to that evil spirit, that nasty spirit that was working through him, that bothered me all the time, that was trying to irritate me. So like I say, after that, I said it twice. I say, I rebuke you, Satan. Said it 2 times. He was like, what? He know what it was. That I was talking to that spirit that was in him, that spirit that was working through him. So after that, like I say, he was quiet. He left. He didn't say nothing. Them guys was, you know, they was like, you don't play. You don't play. I'm like, no, I don't play. So after that, you know, that was the end of it. And then the next day I seen him. This same man who was rude, who was nasty, who was mean, who never said good morning. When he seen me that morning, the next day, guess what he said? He said, good morning. I said, good morning. How are you? And it was crazy because, like I say, we really got to be like that. At the end of the day, when you walking with God for real, you know it's a spiritual battle. So, no, I wasn't calling him the devil. I wasn't calling him Satan. He may have took it like that. But I knew in that moment that I had to stand tall because that spirit that was in him was constantly attacking me, constantly bothering me, constantly trying to get it under my skin. The same way it did everybody else, and they just felt like, oh, that's just how he was. No, I was speaking to that spirit. I was calling that spirit out of him. And that's why I say I rebuke you, Satan. So if you walking with God for real, you understand spiritual warfare, you know that's how it got to be. So I just want to come on here and share this story time with you and let you know that chosen ones are always attacked in the workplace. People see that light on the inside of you. They know you a positive person. They know you a godly person. They don't like that. Darkness is attracted to light, so they're going to bother you. But you just got to know how to handle yourself. Now, I'm not saying walk up to your supervisor and call them Satan and all that. I ain't saying that. But I'm saying you got to use wisdom and discernment. And you can't let people think that they can handle you in any kind of way. I don't care what job it is. I don't care how much money you make. You got to handle yourself right. And you really got to let people know that they cannot treat you any kind of way. But as a chosen one, you're going to always deal with warfare on the workplace. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, took something from it. As always, y'all be blessed. We'll talk soon.